I'm Courtney Osborn, and I've been at UBC for almost 6 years now. I spend most of my time hanging out with international students. I'm serving with North American Mission Board, and I'm actually serving part-time here at UBC, and then the rest of the time at the Baptist Collegiate Ministry on campus. I think there's probably two main areas in my life that it is really difficult for me to find contentment in this season, and one of those is just waiting. Whether that's in my job, just waiting on God to fully reveal himself to one of the Arab women that I'm continually just pouring my life into, sharing truth with, but trusting that as I'm planting the seeds, God's the only one that can bring the growth. It could be waiting on what's next, what happens after this. I would love to get to serve overseas long term at some point, and so even just waiting on the Lord to say, okay, I want you to go here, and this is happening in this timeline. And I think the biggest thing right now is just waiting on God's provision of a husband. I really, really want to get married and have babies, and so I think just trusting him in that. And I think attached to that one is just deep loneliness, and so I think comparison has been another area of discontentment in my life. And so, I mean, we all know just how destructive social media can be at times, and so even watching my Facebook feed on a Friday night when I'm sitting at home by myself and seeing, just so many dear friends that I love enjoying life with a spouse or a boyfriend or a group of friends. Even with international students, am I reaching out enough? Am I doing enough? I think that comparison has been a really just difficult area in life, and it's hard even for other women in my generation too, just to find satisfaction in Christ being enough rather than constantly needing to measure up to these other things. I think when I'm struggling in these areas, the thing that I am first tempted to run to or use would just be control. I want to know what's going to happen. I want to be able to fix it or do it or just control it. So for me, I struggled with an eating disorder for about 10 years, and so even though God has been really gracious to bring me to a point of getting to walk in freedom from that, I think something that I'm prone to immediately run to find my worth or to find gratification would be food, controlling workouts. Finding when I wake up, do I think I look pretty enough? Do I look skinny enough? Do I wear the right things? I think that that's something that the enemy still, even now, even walking in a lot more freedom from that, that's something that I can easily look to for my worth. Another thing would just be serving, just doing a lot. Even this morning, I talked with some students through the story of Mary and Martha, and just recognizing, Jesus is like, Martha, Martha, like, just chill out. You're running around doing all of these things, but Mary, she's sitting right here at my feet, and she's chosen the good portion, and it won't be taken away from her. I think when I find myself struggling with contentment and wanting to find that in other places, something that's been really helpful for me is to just look back, to recall his faithfulness, and to recall his deeds of old, to just see what God has done in my life, and recognize that even looking forward in the areas that I can't yet see, that I can trust him in those too. And that's been really, really helpful for me to just be able to remember his promises. I think another thing is recognizing that he's our great counselor, and he desires to be able to talk to us and have a relationship with us. And so I think sometimes just sitting down and asking him, or if I recognize that there's something that I'm not believing that's true that is, or I'm recognizing that I'm running to a person or to food or to control, whatever I'm running to just pause right in that moment and say, Jesus, why do I want this more than I want you right now? Why is it so hard for me to be content in where you have me right now? And just waiting on him to answer me. And he's been really, really faithful to do that. And so I'm thankful for that. And I think the last thing is just his promises, his word. Pouring that truth over me, meditating on it day and night, and recognizing that, he says that the beginning of wisdom is the fear of the Lord. And so in order to know him, to fear him, I need to know what his word says about me. And I think just basking in the promises that he has, that he really has separated our sin as far as the east is from the west. He has set his face upon us. He loves us with an everlasting love.